So let's think back for a second. Like certain phrases that you heard when you were growing up. Do you remember them? The ones that showed up like on repeat. Your mom, your dad. The ones you didn't question. You just took them as, the truth. These are the truth. This is what it means to be a grown-up. Watch your mouth. Settle down. Behave yourself. That's not appropriate. That's a good one. So what about you? What were the ones that you heard? We heard these lines so often that they didn't even mean that much to us. It was just part of our lexicon. It's what we thought. It was shaped our identity. And they taught us how much space we were allowed to take up, or how loud was too loud, how bold was too bold. And the one phrase I remember, the one that stuck for me, was act your age. Well, it sounds reasonable up until it suddenly doesn't. I mean, what does that mean? Because once it really sets in, you kind of question it and it hits and you're like, I'm not even sure. What is the age? Act your age. According to who? According to their comfort level, their fears, their limits? Because let's be honest, when people say act your age, they're usually not talking about this wisdom. They're talking about restraint. They're talking about making everyone else comfortable. Tone it down. Don't want too much. Don't move too fast. Don't surprise anyone. And definitely don't outgrow the version of you that they want you to be. They want you to stay a certain way. It's just society. See, that phrase, it's supposed to make you feel like you're moving in, like you have some container of who you're supposed to be. It's that if you obey these rules, then people will like you. And I don't know, there's something about aging that's really shifted that for me. It's just those old things come out and I almost start laughing to myself. It's because so long I feel like we police our energy. We second guess decisions that we feel maybe we're excited about. And we're wondering if we're just going to embarrass ourselves by just saying something about what we want. We ask things like, ooh, is this too much for my age? Is this allowed now? Am I supposed to still want this? Here's the scam part of it all. Act your age. Because it really doesn't have a definition. I mean, what does it mean? It changes depending on who's watching and how small they need you to be so you don't have to question them afterwards. They don't have to question themselves on how maybe threatening your confidence is or how it makes them feel uncomfortable. So you can follow the rules perfectly. This is the part that's tricky. And you'll still get judged. That's crazy, right? Now, I was saying earlier, here's where it shifts. See, as you get older, something kicks in. You stop, outsourcing your authority. Well, not because you're trying to be rude. You're just starting to feel tired. Start noticing when saying yes to everything starts to feel exhausting. You're drained out. And when you hear something that offends you, it's harder to, bite your tongue and not say something, So that shift, that confidence, you earned it the hard way, and you deserve it. So maybe the question, honestly, isn't, am I acting my age? Because I hear that a lot. Or maybe the real questions that we can ask ourselves are, does this feel true to who I am now? Yeah. Or does this add to my life? Or does it make me feel boxed in? Am I choosing this boldly or am I shrinking to keep the peace for the people around me? Because let's call it what it is. Acting your age usually just means you're acting in a way that keeps other people comfortable. And comfort has definitely not been the same thing as truth. Because truth is louder. Truth has an edge. Truth has weight. Truth doesn't ask for permission. Truth is confident. Truth is alive. And sometimes truth looks a little bit wild. Okay, maybe a lot wild. You see, there comes a moment when you stop negotiating yourself down, to something easier for people to swallow. You stop apologizing for wanting depth or strength or pleasure, purpose, even expansion. You want those things. And you want it maybe at the same time. So you stop explaining yourself to people who were never meant to understand you. They just weren't. And you don't need a script. You don't need to follow some protocol. You don't need approval. You don't need to fit in to anyone's idea of appropriate. Oh, that word. You just need permission to trust your own knowing. That's it. And the longer you've been here, the more you've earned that right. So, the next time you hear that phrase out loud or in your own head, any of those phrases from your childhood, particularly age out loud for me, pause. Ask something better. Ask, hey, is this true for me? Because the goal was never really to behave. The goal was never to blend in. And the goal was never to shrink. The goal, my friend, the goal is to be free.